This video will give you a better understanding of what plagiarism is and how to write a paper using citations to help you avoid plagiarizing. Let's talk about some examples of plagiarism. Putting your name on someone else's work. This is a common definition of plagiarizing. If a student downloaded or copied a paper and added their name, that student is pretty deliberately plagiarizing and trying to cheat. Copying text and pretending you wrote it. Maybe this student wrote parts of their paper, but copied a paragraph here and a few sentences there, and added them to their paper, looking like they wrote all of it. That would also be plagiarism. Forgetting citations or incorrect citations. This can be considered plagiarism as well. If you haven't kept your research organized and you're putting in the wrong citations for your quotes or summaries, it will look like plagiarism when your instructor checks your work. Using an author's ideas without citing them. This is what confuses students the most. They aren't trying to plagiarize or cheat, but they didn't know that every time they're taking words, ideas, images, research, etc. from another person, they need to include a citation. This is what we'll look at more in depth. Now you've learned that using citations is how you avoid plagiarizing. Let's make sure that you know what those citations will look like in your paper. There are two types of citations, and you will need to include both types. First, we have the in-text citations. These go directly after the information you've gotten from another author. They are just a short citation that tells the reader which quotes, summaries, or paraphrases came from which other author. At the end of your paper, you'll have a list of full citations in a reference page or works cited page. These have all the information your reader needs to find the article or book that you've cited. Having both types of citations means that the reader can easily find the original source of anything in your paper that is not your own ideas or opinions. Let's look at this in a different way. What are your citations telling your reader? If your reader sees quotation marks and a citation in your paper, they know that this part is someone else's words and ideas. If they see a citation without quotation marks, they know that you've rewritten the information to be in your own words and in your own voice, but it's still someone else's idea, opinion, or research. If they do not see a citation, they will know that this is your own thoughts, opinions, or conclusions about the information, or that this is common knowledge. Information like Moncton is a city in New Brunswick is widely known here and very easily verifiable. Common knowledge like that does not need a citation. Let's look at some examples. Here we have a quote in a sentence, and I see the author's last name and page number making up the in-text citation. We can tell that this was someone else's words and research that the student used in their paper. In our next example, we have the same information, but the student has rewritten it to be in their own words. They no longer needed the quotation marks, but they still need the citation. This tells the reader that this is still someone else's ideas or research. This is also referred to as summarizing or paraphrasing, depending on the length of the original information. And in our final example, we don't see a citation. This must be the student's own thoughts or opinions. They have cited other authors' research elsewhere in their paper and have come up with their own conclusions, which we see here in this example. As an example, you can see that instructors generally want to see parts of your paper with citations, making up the research part of your mark, as well as parts of your paper that are your own ideas, which don't have citations, and show your critical thinking about a topic. If you wrote a paper with lots of research where every sentence had a citation, you might be doing the research part of the assignment, but missing the critical thinking part, resulting in only half the mark you were hoping for. Instructors usually also want to see how you've thought about a topic. This video aimed to explain the concepts behind plagiarism and when to have citations. When you actually write your paper, you might need help with the formatting of those citations. You can find that info and more help on plagiarism on our website, nbcc.libguides.com.